The powerful German army was 50 miles from Paris. The Second Battle of Marne was underway, and the British and French appeared to be losing. They weren't sure if they could count on the inexperienced American troops that had not long before landed in Paris. As the Allied forces began to fail, the sound of retreat was ordered by a French commander. Was this the point at which the war would be lost? Hearing the call for retreat, a young American Marine yelled out, "Retreat? Hell, we just got here!" Amazingly, that fresh spirit and courage turned the tide of the battle. Historians agree that winning this battle was key to winning the First World War, and it established the Americans as a modern military power. The simple cry, which some claim is apocryphal, symbolized the can-do spirit of Americans. I share this story because you're in so many ways just like the American Marine at the Battle of Marne. You may have just arrived in the economic war, although it's been underway for years. But you're not ready to retreat, and neither are we. And I have some good news. We're beginning to make progress on some really tough issues, and this is in part because of you. In our battlefield update, I want to share 3 distinct areas of progress we're making. We have a ways to go in each of these areas, but I'm more than pleased that our viewers, you, have learned in the economic war room, shared it with friends, and started the ball rolling on solutions. The 3 areas we're going to talk about are China, the national debt, and electromagnetic pulse. First, China. We cover China a lot. It's the first or the second largest economy in the world, depending on who you listen to. It has the world's largest population of any nation, and it is a communist country exploiting the capitalist system. When I started speaking about China and unrestricted warfare 10 years ago, people looked at me like I was crazy. Why would China be an adversary? Don't we buy all their goods? Don't they loan us all the money that we need? We were so wrapped up in the China economic miracle and the growth that few in the government would even consider that China was an adversary and a threat. What I often say is what we see as a marketplace, our enemies view as a battle space, and that's true with China more than anywhere else. We see the markets of China and want to take part. China sees a battle space where they can gain global dominance. Now, we've aired multiple episodes on the China threat, including episodes 6, 13, and 23. You can go back and watch those in the Blaze TV archives. You can also download the battle plans for them. In every case, we start with the notion that we have to understand the China threat before we can address it. This is really based on The Art of War from Sun Tzu. Quoting Sun Tzu, he says, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself, but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle." So you can imagine how great it feels to know that a new committee on the present danger has recently been formed to address the China threat. It's because of awareness, in part because of our efforts here in the Economic War Room and your efforts to share this information, that we're seeing progress now. And I'm honored to be a founding member of the Committee on the Present Danger. Founding members include Brian Kennedy, Frank Gaffney, Jim Woolsey, Dr. William Bennett, Steve Bannon, Mark Halperin, Pastor Bob Fu, Dr. Peter Pry, Dr. Sasha Gong, William Boykin, Ed Timberlake, Mark Schneider, Rick Fisher, Hank Cooper, and a host of others. These are people dedicated to getting the word out on the China threat, not just to the American people, not just to the government, but to the companies that are doing business in China. I'm very grateful that this committee is formed. The original Committee on the Present Danger was formed to combat the Soviet threat in the Cold War. The committee was credited with bringing awareness and crafting the victory plan. It wasn't easy, but it started with awareness. I'm hopeful that this new version will make a difference also.